guys, it's time for another makeup tutorial. As always, I'm going to start off by priming my eyes. Today I'm going to use a little bit of a different concealer color. This is actually MAC's NW55 concealer, which is a little bit deeper since I'm going for more of a daytime smoky brown eye. Once I apply that concealer with the synthetic brush, I'm then going to go ahead and tap it out with my finger just to create a nice smooth transition. Next, I'm going to use my Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation from MAC to set my cream concealer that I just placed on the eye. Anytime I use a creamy product on my eyelid, I like to set it with a translucent powder or a powder foundation so that all of my shadows blend nice and smoothly on top. The first shadow that I'm going to use is MAC's Brown Script. I'm going to go ahead and place this as a transition color because I really want a lot of warmth and red tones with this look. With a fluffier blending brush, I'm going to concentrate most of that color in the outer V using swirling motions and windshield wiper motions across the eye above my natural crease. I really like to use this method so that when we place our lid color down, it blends in seamlessly. The lid color that I'm going to be using today comes from this Vanity palette from Wet n Wild, and it's the darkest brown that they have in there. I really love this color because it has a lot of red tone in it and it makes it very daytime wearable. I'm going to use patting motions to pack this color onto the lid, and I'm not really concentrating on being super neat with this because we're going to blend it out later. Now it is time to blend out that lid color because we don't want to walk around with any harsh lines on the eyes. I'm taking a clean, fluffy blending brush, and I'm really taking my time to blend between the transition color and the lid color so that everything just blends seamlessly together, and again, we don't get those harsh lines. Blending is really what makes the difference between a beautiful makeup look and one that's ratchet. After blending as if my life depended on it, I did want to add a little bit more interest to this very simple makeup look. So I took the color Seductive from my Nude 2 palette and I just popped that in the center of my eye, creating a halo or sandwich effect with this makeup look. No brush is needed for this part. I just took my oh so ratchet finger to actually place this color on the lid. My ratchet fingers are so not up for discussion because y'all already know the struggle is so real when you're growing out your nails from an acrylic set, but this is not about my ratchet fingers. It's about the makeup look. So let's go ahead and refocus and get this color on the lid. Now that it's on the lid, of course you got to go back in between all the colors and go ahead and make sure they're nicely blended out. Now, after blending all my colors, I did want to clean up around the eye, and instead of using tape today, you can also use a moisturizer and a Q-tip. So I wanted to show you guys this method if you guys did not want to place tape around the eyes or use a straight edge. Moisturizer really does the trick. This is my MAC Moisture Fuse moisturizer, and if you just use that around the eyes, it not only hydrates that area, but you can also get a nice sharp edge without tape. Since my eyeshadow look was very simple, I did want a just nasty and disrespectful cat eye, so I'm taking my 77 Inglot gel liner and just creating a nice wing, sharp edge to the eye. Y'all know it's a struggle to get this done on camera since I have to actually be inside of the mirror when I'm doing my eyeliner, but I caught a little bit of it on tape for you guys. Tape, who uses tape anymore, girl? Bye. But I went ahead and got a little bit of this film for you guys, so just create a nice sharp winged edge. When creating a nice vicious wing liner, make sure you just take your time because you may have to go back and forth a couple of times so you get the desired pigmentation of the liner and the right shape that you're looking for. Also, make sure you fill in any gaps because gaps in eyeliner really does something to my soul and it is seriously disrespectful, so just make sure you color those in. Next, I'm going to go ahead and prep my lashes for falsies, and I love using the Rimmel Lash Accelerator Mascara because it's more lengthening and less volumizing, because all we want to do is just create a nice black lash to put falsies on top of. Now that my lashes are nicely prepped, I'm going to go ahead and pop on my lashes of my whole eternity, which are, y'all should already know, Cocoa lashes in the style Goddess. So we're just going to quickly pop those on and move along. Girl, I could not even concentrate on this part because I was so busy watching Ratchet Real Housewives of Atlanta, where Portia was introducing her boyfriend and doing the absolute most. So I was like, go ahead and get it, girl, but it is not about that. Let's prime this face, okay? I'm using the post-shave balm from Nivea that was made infamous by Nikki Tutorials and priming my face with that. Also, because I am an oily combination girl, I love to use this matte cream from MAC and place that in all the areas of the face where I get super oily, because it keeps my foundation on longer and keeps that oil at bay. Now it's time to put on our foundation, and today I'm going to use the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo foundation. And I love this foundation because it is like spackle and cement and super cake for the face. But because I am losing my summer tan and this color has just always been off for me, I'm going to mix that in with my Face Atelier Adjustment foundations and buff that into the skin. Now, per usual, as you guys have seen plenty of times before, I'm going to take my Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer, mix with my MAC Peach Luster highlighting pen, and place that to all the places where the light would naturally hit and where I want to highlight, which is usually the center of the face, and just blend that out. I usually like to layer these right on top of each other and just blend them in together. Next up, I'm going to take my Barely Damp Beauty Blender and just go ahead and blend out all of that concealer that I placed down. We want to make sure that everything, again, just blends in seamlessly together and that we don't create any halos around the eye and no harsh lines on the face. I find that using a beauty blender for this process is just perfection. I've tried brushes before and I really like the way the beauty blender blends everything out. Again, I don't like any harsh lines, so I am going to go back in with my foundation brush and just go around all the places where I place my concealer to make sure that there are no harsh lines on the face. Now it is time to bake, and I return back to my Ben Nye banana powder mixed with the sienna powder because I just love it. It works for me, and I just go back and forth with all the powders that I have. So today we're just going to use the banana powders. I'm also going to reverse highlight, as I like to do, to just chisel out these cheekbones a little bit more and place that on the jawline. While my powder is baking, I am known to randomly vogue, sing, and do a little jig because you never know when a queen is going to try you, okay? So you have to be ready at all times. And I just do that until it is time to bronze. Today I'm going to use my Shea Moisture bronzer. I don't always use this one because it does have a little bit of an iridescent sheen to it, but it is just as good as my CoverGirl Queen Collection bronzer, which I usually use. So I just go back and forth between the two, and that's the one that I'm using today. To get into those angles of the face, I do usually like to bronze using an angled powder brush. Now it is time to contour these cheekbones and get snatched, okay? And today I'm going to use my Film Noir blush from MAC that I have been raving about recently because it is an absolutely beautiful red tone brown that looks beautiful on darker skin tones to actually contour with. I am going to use a tapered blending brush from Real Techniques to do so with, and I'm just going to build this color up and add little by little because you don't want to go in with a super heavy hand to start off with. Next, after contouring, I'm going to take another favorite color that I've been raving about from MAC, which is a blush in the color Burnt Pepper, which is a beautiful muted tone orange that looks beautiful on darker skin tones, especially for the fall. I'm just going to take a light hand, as usual, with my blushes and apply that using my e.l.f. powder brush. Next, it is time for our favorite process, which is highlighting, and today I'm going to use a throwback product, which is my loose powder from MAC in the color Golden Bronze, which is this beautiful golden tone, which looks, again, amazing on darker skin tones. And I'm actually going to use it with this dupe brush that I got from Target. It's from the Up and Close brand of brushes, which are very good, by the way, and it's such a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighting brush. I'm also going to sweep a little bit of that powder into the inner tear ducts of the eye and also on top of the Cupid's bow, just to add a little bit more interest, since this is more of a daytime smoky eye. And I apologize so much because I was not recording when I filmed the lower lash line, but I just took some black eyeliner and smoked it out with brown shadow for the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to go ahead and end this makeup look with the lips, which is the best part, honey. One of my favorite lippies that I've done to date. And I'm going to start off by lining the lips as usual with the NYX pencil in dark brown. Y'all already know with lips this size, it takes a little bit of time to actually line them. But not only am I going to line my lips, but I'm going to go ahead and color them all the way in with that NYX pencil in dark brown so that my lipstick has something to stick onto, since it is a glossy finish. Just continuously line the lips and color the lips in with that dark brown until everything is covered. Now, honey, it is time for the star of the show, one of my favorite lippies to date right now. And this is a lip lacquer from Ruby Kisses in the color Midnight Plum Black. And I'm just going to layer that right on top of that lip liner that I just placed all over the lips. This has a beautiful high gloss finish, but I will say that it does transfer very easily. So just be careful when you're actually applying this, and just take your time and make sure you get it all inside the lip line, okay? It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. It's highly pigmented, and they also have a clear one in case you want to add that over any other lip colors that you may have. Absolutely loving it. Definitely one of my favorite products right now. Now we're going to go ahead and end this look by setting this using the Infallible spray from L'Oreal, and then that really completes this makeup look. Again, as usual, I hope you guys like this look and try it out for the fall and get your life. Let me know if you try it out and tag me on Instagram, and don't you guys forget to subscribe here for more. Love you guys, mean it. Bye. Just take care of that. Stop walking around scratching your head, okay? I'm gonna judge, okay? I'm not gonna tell you to your face, but I'm gonna talk about you behind your back, okay?